Hello, I am Chastity White Rose, the vegan virgin, and I have the shirt to prove it. Yeah. And forgive my appearance, I did at least brush my hair for this. And I'm doing a YouTube live stream right now because I very much have some thoughts that I need to get out right away before I go to work. Now, I'm going to be the speaker at the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance all-member meeting. I am transgender, and that was part of why I sought out. I tried to okay, here's what happened. I want to explain why I joined the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance, and I want to explain a few things. I want to give a preview. I want to give some reasoning behind some things I want to discuss at this coming meeting. Because all of the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance members will all be meeting on Zoom, and I want to explain who I am and why I joined the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance. It started about the time when the Roe versus Wade was overturned. It was in June of, I think, it was June 24 of 2022, which ironically happens to also be my brother's birthday. And I remember at that time, I had just, shortly after that, I had started working at GameStop. And there was an employee there who, he was speaking about, he was speaking about the overturning of Roe versus Wade. And he, of course, was speaking of it as it being a bad thing, of course. And I did not tell him, I did not tell him I'm pro-life. I did not want to do that, obviously, because I didn't know him very well. I was just starting a new job. The last thing I wanted to do at that time was create controversy and discuss abortion when I'm at work. That's not a thing that I do at work, okay? But he told me that it's the same people who are overturning abortion are also the same people who, are against trans people. And I remember being so confused at that time. And I asked him, does he have any sources on that? Does he have any references, on, well, why would somebody being against abortion mean they're against trans people? And he sent me this video on TikTok by Aaron in the Morning, or also known as Aaron Reed. And if you're trans and you know who Aaron Reed is, shout out to her. She's amazing. And what she does is she follows the anti-trans laws in all over the United States. There's been over 300 anti-trans laws happening this past year. And she tries to cover that. She does blog posts. She does videos on all her social media. So Erin Reed is amazing. Now, here's the thing, is she repeatedly brings up how it's the same people and the same reasoning used to overturn Roe versus Wade is also being used to, to attack trans people and to ban, transgender care and, hormone or surgery and stuff like that. And I've been reading her posts, so I am very educated on what's going on. And here's the thing. I found this very, very troubling because I've always been pro-life. I've always been against abortion, okay? And my views on abortion are very interesting, in fact. But as a transgender person, I'm concerned about, what is the best way? And I think about this. What is the best way to vote in elections if I do choose to vote, which I usually don't because I'm afraid of voting for the wrong people because I don't know. I'm not good at politics, okay? But let me make this very clear. If you listen to nothing else I say, listen to to what I'm about to say here. Being transgender is not a political statement, and being pro-life is not a political statement. And I am so tired of people saying that it is. Me being transgender, having a gender identity of female, even though I was born male, possibly have Klinefelter syndrome, has nothing to do with who I vote for. It has nothing to do with my views on any issue necessarily. The only thing that it may influence is, obviously, I am in favor of, people being able to take hormones and have surgeries they need. My own gender affirming surgery that I had, it was an orchiectomy, but it was also done for reasons of physical pain and testicular torsion. So there was two sides to that why I had that surgery. But yes, I had an orchiectomy and I take estrogen. I am transgender. I know I don't look pretty like a cis female. I know that. But I am transgender and that's something that I'm comfortable with. Some people don't like it. But then also being pro-life at the same time is interesting because it does appear, if you look at the media, if you look at what's on social media, if you look at the news, if you look at YouTube, you will find that yes, as a general rule, conservatives or Republicans or whatever they are behind a lot of the anti-trans laws. And the Democrats, they at least claim to be for LGBT rights. That's what they claim. But you can never trust politicians because they lie, and I know that. And so I am not a political person, but I joined the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance because I was searching for pro-life LGBT. That's what I was Google searching. And of course, I came across, PLAGAL, the Pro-Life Alliance of Gays and Lesbians. That's what it was called then. Since I've joined them as one of their board members, they've changed the name to Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance. And that's important. I'm congested right now. There's a lot of dust in my new job. Oh yes, I see your comment, Pafo. Pafo says, I'm here and listening, but this isn't my fight. Correct, Pafo. It is not your fight. It is my fight. It is my own personal fight. I only want to do my very best to be morally consistent with everything that I fight for, everything I believe in. And yes, Pafo, I am doing well. Thank you very much for watching. Now, the thing is, I'm pro-life and I'm vegan. I have a general belief that killing is wrong. That's my general belief, okay? I think that killing other living beings is a very bad thing. And I will say this, if you are pro-life, if you're against abortion, but you are not vegan, you are a hypocrite. At the same time, if you are vegan and you do your best to avoid hurting other species of animals in every way, but then you kill other humans, whether that be abortion, killing them before they're born, or after they're born, that's also bad. So I try to be very consistent in not killing other animals and not killing humans. I just try to be morally consistent. And I think Pafo would understand that. I think some of my closest friends, they understand that I'm just a person who lives to be morally consistent. And I cannot be vegan and also turn a blind eye to the issue of abortion. I don't vote. I'm not a political advocate. I'm not specifically trying to make abortion illegal. Now, of course, some members of the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance, they may. And I don't judge them either way. As I said, I am politically ignorant. But I do think that this is a struggle for vegans, it's a struggle for pro-life people, that we need to be morally consistent. There's a lot of hypocrisy in the vegan movement. There's a lot of hypocrisy in the pro-life movement. So first of all, you have to understand being vegan and pro-life, that's what I'm about. My respect for life, respect for other people. There's people I may not like. I may cut them out of my life. I may not talk to them, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go murder them. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to being transgender, I view being transgender, well, or as, and generally LGBTQ rights in general, as being part of my pro-lifeism. That is to say, nobody should be killed because they're lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, asexual, pansexual, whatever your letter of the acronym is. You know, the alphabet gang they call us. Whatever you are, you should not be killed because of your gender identity or sexual orientation. That's part of being pro-life. And so when you are pro-life and you're against killing people before they're born, but then they grow up and figure out in their teen or adult years that they're gay or transgender, and then you make laws that end up resulting in them being killed because you're fueling hatred by passing laws and rhetoric against them, you're killing people either by inciting violence against them, or you're taking away their access to their hormones and their surgery. And their gender dysphoria hits so hard, the depression hits so hard that they commit suicide. There is a very high suicide rate for gay and transgender people. And I know why it is, because I happen to be a little bit of both of those things myself. But this isn't about me. This is not really about me. But me being the person I am, me being transgender and being very visible in public, because you can tell just by looking at me that I'm transgender. Maybe not my face, but there's some other things. But anyway, so I, as a transgender person, do my best to be morally consistent in not killing things. That's basically it. Because let's be honest, I don't like most humans. Most humans are selfish. Most of them are liars, rapists, murderers, thieves. Most humans are generally pretty evil. And actually, that's consistent with, what I always heard being taught Christianity growing up. And here's the thing that's very interesting about it is that I'm not exactly Christian at this point, and I'm not exactly atheist either. I was a Christian growing up, then I was atheist for many years. Now I'm sort of like in this awkward in between stage. I'm I'm spiritual. I'm not theist or atheist. I'm not male or female. I am neither Uganda or Ebola. I am the true way. Like I am in between. I am in the middle. I am the non binary of gender, of politics, of religion. I am the non binary of everything. And yes, Paffa, you are right. I am a unicornist. A unicornist or a unicorn universalist, as I said in my book. And people don't really understand what my book series Chandler's Honesty is about. They don't understand it. Most people aren't even aware that I've written a series of books, but I have. And these events that happen with me speaking with honesty, the unicorn of my dreams, that's what turned me spiritual. Like I didn't believe in God. I didn't, I was just very weird and very strange and very depressed too. But Honesty the Unicorn visited me in my dreams, and we spoke about all kinds of things. We spoke about veganism. We spoke about abortion and why I'm pro-life. We spoke about the transgender issue. We talked about all kinds of ethical issues. It was very deep, very philosophical. And you have to understand these spiritual experiences happened to me. Sometimes it was in my sleep. Sometimes it was in my waking time, and I was losing track of time. Like I would be walking somewhere and I would forget, like I was on autopilot. And I'm like, wait, I've just traveled like 2 or 3 miles, and I don't remember it. like I literally didn't remember it. So I must have been on autopilot. I must have been somehow not getting run over. But I remember this time very specifically where I was on 23rd Street. I was going on a long walk, um, in Independence. I lived in Independence and I was going for a really long walk, trying to get exercise. The weather was nice. And I remember, like, I was walking west on 23rd Street for the longest time, and I completely forgot, like, what happened. And I was speaking with Honesty the Unicorn at the time about all kinds of things. And I literally was in another world. I was in the world of Animal Sanctuary, and I had no touch with the human world where my physical body was. And it's interesting because I have come now to believe in the soul. The soul is very important. I do believe that we are souls that inhabit bodies. That is to say, I am a dualist. So, Rene Descartes talked about dualism and mind and body being separate. He was one of the philosophers. So, I do believe in the soul. I absolutely do believe in the soul. And that is now central to my transgender identity because, as I describe it, I have a female soul in a body that appears to most people to be male. The mind and body, or the soul or spirit and body, are not one. And a transgender person will tell you this. Being transgender, or declaring oneself as transgender is not a political statement. It's not really an ethical statement. It is, however, a philosophical and religious statement. It is very important to understand that we experience the reality of our soul and our body not being aligned. And I think it makes great sense that I actually am a female soul in a male body. And by bringing my body into alignment more with my soul, it has made me more comfortable. It really has made me more comfortable. And in recent years, after my talks with Honesty the Unicorn, I've come to realize more things about myself, and a lot of things have changed. My thoughts on many issues have changed. My spiritual beliefs have changed, and my body has changed tremendously. That's what happens. 3 years of no testosterone and only estrogen will change your body a lot. I can tell you that for sure. So I've changed a lot, but being vegan has not changed since I was vegan. I went vegan at 26 years old, and I'm 36 now. Being transgender certainly hasn't changed. I've been that way all my life, but I didn't know how to figure it out. It took me in my adult years to really figure out what was going on, because in my teen years I thought, am I gay? And then I identified as asexual for many years. But that's not important. That's actually not important, although I'm definitely willing to discuss that, and probably will be discussing it in the all-member meeting for the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance this weekend. This Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Time is what we have scheduled. And, okay, I love Puffo's comments here. Little unicorn universalist. That's great. I love it. I don't believe in an immortal soul, but I would call what you're describing as our heart, our spiritual, emotional heart. Okay, cool, Poffo. I appreciate your comments, Poffo. I don't have many people who watch me when I go live, but you are a true friend. You are a true brother. Anyway, so the whole thing is the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance is different because most pro-life organizations, they are Christian, they are conservative, and they generally don't like LGBT people. They think it goes against their religion. But I gotta tell you, there are pro-life atheists and agnostics. There are pro-life gay and transgender people. That's something that most people are not aware. And so every time I see people post and comment about the hypocrisy in the pro-life movement, I just agree. That's what I do. When people criticize the pro-life people for killing gay and transgender people or not being vegan, I agree. I agree that there's a lot of hypocrisy. And I bring that hypocrisy out in the open. And if I am a hypocrite in some way, I like to be told that because that was what made me go vegan. When somebody asked me if I was vegan, I'm like, no, what the hell is a vegan? But then I learned what a vegan was. Somebody told me I was a hypocrite because I was pro-life, but I wasn't vegan. So I learned what being a vegan was and became a vegan because being morally consistent is really, really important to me. You have no idea. Honesty is the best policy. And if I'm inconsistent on something, then I need to correct that. That's something I need to correct. I'm a person who's honest enough with myself to admit when I'm wrong about things. And I got to tell you, I don't question my gender identity or sexual orientation anymore. I'm way past that. But I got to tell you, I do question my pro-lifism, not my philosophical ethical stance on being pro-life. That I don't question. I only question from a legal standpoint whether or not abortion really should be made illegal. And I have many, many reasons I question whether it should be illegal, but I don't judge people either way on whether they think abortion should be legal or illegal. I think we have a bigger thing that we need to talk about. I think we need to talk about the moral inconsistency of what's going on. When you have people who are against abortion, but they're carnists and kill animals with every meal they eat, you know, that's a bigger issue. And then we have the transgender issue, which is a really big hot topic right now. Being transgender is a really big topic in all the media right now because this is September 2023. Okay, and so there's a lot going on. There's a lot of hatred against transgender people, and I have some very specific views. First of all, I don't think that trans women should be competing on women's sports teams. I don't really think they should. And part of that is for their own protection because some of these women can be hateful towards trans women and view them as imposters. I want to protect the trans women from the cis straight women that are TERFs. I really do. I want to protect them. So that's part of it. Another thing is I do realize that so even I've had no testicles for 3 years at this point, but I do believe that I have a slight physical strength advantage in certain areas over cis women because I did go through a male puberty, and I'm not even the strongest. But I do think it is biologically unfair for trans women to be competing against cis women. I think they're stronger. I think biological males are generally stronger if they have gone through male puberty. I do think cases may be different if they were able to transition during puberty, which I support in certain cases. But, my opinions on gender identity and transgender stuff, I can evolve. Those opinions can change because that's not core. My core of me is my pro-life veganism. That's my core. And I'm pretty sure me being transgender isn't going to change anytime soon. But I have core beliefs that are of utmost importance. And then I have opinions on, legal, political issues, how things should be handled. And that may change. I might be proven wrong by somebody. So I'm not really committed to things. But currently that's what I think of the trans women in sports. And I don't really think that you are anti-trans if you are against trans women competing in women's sports. At the same time, trans women can't compete in men's sports because they're not men. And they usually, if they've taken hormones or had surgery, they don't have the same level of physical strength as men. And I should know that. So gender transitioning means you have to give up your sports career. That's what it means, in my opinion. And it's easy for me to say because I don't play sports. I never was good at sports. I injured my pinky really bad trying to catch a football years ago, and I ain't trying that again, okay? Sports is the least of my concerns, but I just wanted to put that out there because I get asked so often what I think about trans women in women's sports. And how come nobody talks about the trans men? You know, the trans men who take testosterone and they've got some serious muscles. Should they compete on the men's team? I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, they do get stronger when they take testosterone, and they look just like men, so nobody would know the difference. Um, so I don't know. Maybe that's acceptable because they would achieve the same level of physical strength over time as a cis man. So maybe they can. The situation for cis men and cis women is different. But anyway, I'm getting derailed from my main topic, which is about being morally consistent. And I do hope that what I've discussed here will be especially relevant to the all of the members of the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance. And I highly recommend that anybody watching this Google searches and finds the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance. They're still in a transition process of, converting from the old name, Plague Owl, to Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance. But I'm supposed to be the presenter. I'm supposed to be the main speaker at this Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Time, to speak about the intersection between being transgender and also pro-life. And also, I have more comments from Pafo. Okay. Everyone is morally inconsistent. Literally everyone I've ever met. True words, Pafo. We all need to grow and improve and be more consistent. And then somebody said, you have to watch that South Park episode. Okay. Send me a link to that South Park episode because I want to know what you're talking about. But anyway, I do believe I have covered some main points in half an hour. And if I've left anything out, then leave me comments on this video. And also join the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance and join us for our Zoom meetings so that you can ask me more directly when I present this Sunday. And so I hope I've covered a lot of things. I don't have the technology nor the time to do like a PowerPoint or keynote presentation. Also, I spilled Gatorade on my MacBook Pro and it's totaled. I can't use it anymore. It's very, very sad. I'm sad about that. But most importantly, I have a new job at Walmart that I'm excited about. And I'm doing school, which I'm excited about. And I'm not getting enough sleep, which is kind of sad with work and school. But I'm very glad I made this video so that I can give people a preview of the topics that we will be discussing at this Sunday's all-member meeting of the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance. So I have to say, leave me comments, look up the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance and talk with them, definitely. And I will do my best to respond to comments in my own time. Now I have to get ready to go to work and work 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. today and tomorrow. And I work at GameStop tomorrow afternoon as well. So I'm not going to have any time. So I'm very, very glad I did this short video. So I think that's all I have to say. And now I have things to go and things to do. But I will see people at the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance meeting this Sunday. Now I have to figure out how to end my live stream.